Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Emprocure. Our today's topic is diversity. Is it easy to shift? So, diversity is a very, very interesting topic, and everybody is talking about it today. Let me just share some numbers with you to make it even more interesting. According to a survey, 76% of employees and job seekers are considering diversity when accepting job offers, when they are considering job offers. Diversity is a very, very big factor. On the other hand, organizations which have gender diversity have a likelihood of 25% more to financially outperform their peers. Now, these numbers are very impactful. But what is diversity? Let's try and understand that a little bit more. So, Nishish, can you talk a little bit about diversity and your experience in your organization with the same?
Yeah, I think I can personally speak a lot. I'm very, very passionate about the topic.
Hmm.
And as an outcome of it, within my organization, I've been part of a group which was promoting diversity. It is one of the most spoken about word, but not fully understood. So when we talk about diversity, first thing which comes to mind is primarily gender diversity. And that's where, at least I've seen, most of the people's definition of diversity ends.
True.
But that's not all. It's a much broader topic. So when you talk about diversity, it can be diversity of experiences, it can be diversity of ideas, and if I have to summarize in true essence, it has to be a diversity of thoughts at the end of the day, right? So that's what diversity is all about.
Hmm.
It doesn't exist in isolation. So we also have equity, which primarily means that there has to be a level playing field for different individuals, and inclusiveness, which is if you don't create an inclusive environment, again, the diversity is bound to fail. So that's a little on diversity and benefits. You started with some statistics. The benefits are many. And if I have to speak a few, it has been found in different studies that a diverse work group is more likely to come up with ideas and conclude them faster than a homogeneous group, which came as a full surprise to me. And putting some numbers to it, companies which had diverse management outperformed their competitors by at least 15% financially.
Okay.
And one of the benefit which we all will be able to relate to and is very close to my heart is it leads to better empathy. And these days, when we talk about supplier relationships, we have suppliers from diverse backgrounds. So once you have diversity in your team, you will be able to empathize with your suppliers better. You will be able to collaborate in a much more natural manner. So that's a little about diversity and its benefit. And we all fully understand it's a must have. But it would be interesting to understand from your experience with there that I'm sure it comes with its own set of challenges, even when the diversity has been established in the workplace. Has there been any experience on your side of the challenges which a leader can typically face?
No, absolutely. This is a very interesting topic, which I've experienced myself, and I'll share that story in a bit. But it's very fascinating to hear what you said, how you've described diversity. It's not just gender, it's not just cultural, it's more about diversity of thoughts. And I think that is very interesting. And at the end of the day, that is the essence. If everybody starts thinking in that manner, I think adoption will be very easy. But if we talk about adoption today, there is a big challenge with it, right? Putting diversity or saying, okay, now we have X percentage of females, or we have these many different cultures in our employee pool is great to say, but how well do they work? What we need to really understand that change is very, very difficult, right? It's a human behavior. If you ask somebody to change what they've been doing for past many years, it is going to be resistance. It is going to take time for people to change the behavior. Now, as a leader, can we do something about it? Yes, absolutely. So now I come to my story that, in one of my previous organizations, I was driving change. I was transforming. So we shifted from a all Asian male team to a diverse cultural mixed team, which was great to have, because as an outcome, what we were delivering as performance was obviously better, and the numbers you've shared with me or with our audience today is absolutely true, that you do get these results. But the underlying problem is that people, it's not easy for them to work. And in my experience, I did bring in new workforce, I didn't bring in new people, but there were these old set of people who were there in the organization, who had a lot of experience, who brought unique experience to the table or unique abilities to the table. But somewhere the problem came in that they did not see new people who were coming in as somebody who were bringing value.
Mhm.
They did not see that these people are contributing certain skills, or they would be able to benefit from those skills, right? So it's a human behavior to say, I mean, it's similar, we say AI is coming everywhere, they are going to replace our jobs, but that's not really true. And that goes the same when we bring in diversity, that if you're bringing new people, it's not because they're going to take over your jobs, but it's to say, if you work with them, we can deliver better outcomes. So that mindset shift from working together, or the need to work together, to a growth mindset, it's not easy. So we bring in diversity, but to make it impactful, what do? So you explain to your team, you explain to them in a manner that they will relate to, and that language could vary from person to person, right? Today, the way you would understand something will not be the same as someone else. So to narrate that to specific people, to make sure that they understand that they're very, very valued.
Mhm.
At the same time, there is a great opportunity to learn from somebody else who's coming on board, right? That acknowledgement that it's something I can contribute to that person, and something that person can contribute to me, which makes a lot of difference. So I think that coaching and mentoring really helped for me to build that team, for them to understand each other and work together. And I think in the end, it was a long journey to get there, but it was a journey which was absolutely worth it. So I am a big preacher as well to say diversity is very important. We have diversity of thoughts and diversity of results that we can deliver, which is very, very important.
It's such a fascinating story, and thanks for sharing. It reminded me of an anecdote
Hmm.
where, in one of the organizations that I used to work for, the leaders were told to have diversity, and of course they followed. They tried to recruit individuals from different backgrounds, ethnicities. But what did happen is that during the team meetings, because leader did not shift in terms of the mindset and it was not a very inclusive environment, the leader would stick to the native language. And of course, there were a couple of team members with similar ethnicity, and that would be so disengaging for some of the employees and the team members who were not from the same ethnicity. And and that was just failing the whole quest to create a diverse and engaged workforce. So yeah, I think achieving diversity is one, but managing it brings its own set of challenges.
True. So if I had to give my 2 cents of what you can do as an individual or as a leader, is for one to understand that when you are going to deal with people, new people, current team members, new team members, or anyone else who's coming on board, it's very important to apply the same technique that we apply to negotiations. You need to pause and think. You need to analyze the person sitting in front of you, like we do when we go into negotiations with our suppliers. We always see what is the other person going to gain, what is that supplier good at, do I need to really negotiate with them? So that understanding, that study is very, very crucial, because now we're just shifting from a supplier to a person, right? So it's one person giving value to the other. And in that context, if you really start analyzing that, if I start working with this team member, how can he or she help me better what I do? And the same way, what can I do to help that person? I think when we start thinking in that collaborative mindset, we really start growing, and we really start getting that adoption. We break that wall, that fake wall, that, oh, I don't want to work with this, or I don't want to
Sure.
work with that. I think we become very, very good when we start doing it. So I would say start analyzing things in this perspective. It can add a lot of value to you.
Great advice. And from my side, I would also say that it starts from the top. So if we really want to drive diversity in true sense, we have to bring in the leadership, make them feel part of the change, and also feel accountable for driving the change. So that would be my 2 cents to the audience.
Great. I think we learned a lot of new things today. I hope that you enjoyed our conversation today. Do leave your feedback if you have any comments. If you would like to hear further on this, do reach out to us, and we'll be happy to connect and have a further conversation with you. For now, like, subscribe, and we look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.